This video is sponsored by the Magic Candle Company. Stay tuned until the very end for a, a special demonstration. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, and it turns out he's just like a little guy, and he just lives there. It's crazy. All right, catch you guys later. All right, see ya. Hey, man. What's going on? Oh, hey, man. Sorry, I think I have a case of writer's block or something. I just can't think of a video idea this week. It's eluding me, and I don't know why. Hey, I run out of video ideas all the time. You know what I do? Okay, I let the viewers do it for me. What do you mean let them do it for me? What I do is I post to a social media site and say I'm doing a new video and that I need ideas, and that usually gets the job done. You know, that's actually not a bad idea. Okay, what do people like to see on YouTube? Top 10 videos. Exactly, that's what I was thinking. And what kind of videos do people want to see? Changes to the Disney parks. Top 10 changes to the Disney parks. Man, it's like we're the same person or something. It's creepy.
I know, it's crazy.
Okay, so I guess I'll just go ahead and get started. Yeah, you do that. I gotta catch up on my reading. You know how it is. Did you know there's just a little guy and he lives... Never mind. Number 10. Now, a few ground rules before we start here. I'm going to try my darndest not to talk about Disneyland's Tomorrowland, and for that matter, Disney World's Tomorrowland too much. We all know the issues. We all know what we would change, what we'd fix, what we'd take out, and what we would add. Tron, the Zootopia, the submarines, the people mover, we've been through it so many times. I feel like we've kind of beaten that horse to death, so no Tomorrowland entries. And two, I think I gotta have a little bit of discretion as to what goes on the list. I tried to pick out the tweets with the most amount of likes. By the way, Twitter, I know it's a dumpster fire. I haven't gotten my Blue Sky invitation yet, but it's so needlessly complicated to find the most liked tweets, so I do have a list of 10 right here that I will be relaying to you. And so there's those little rules out of the way. Here we go. Number 10. I already did the little boing sound. There it is, so I'll just hop right into it. Now, I've spoken at length as to how much I enjoy walkthrough attractions and how Disney needs to bring more walkthrough attractions to the parks. I made a whole video. There's a card right up there. And that is essentially Pie, the theme park guy's opinion as well. More walkthrough attractions. The kind that are kind of boring but still fantastic. Pie, I know exactly what you mean. Preferably with an amount of stairs that make you question whether or not it's worth it. Now, I really know what you mean. But here's the part that sort of reaches out, jumps out at me. Basically, I want a version of Typhoon Lagoon's scenic mountain overlook trail in every park. Now, I have never been to any of the Walt Disney World water parks. I know I'm not doing my due diligence as a content creator, but I'm always just in the parks. I'm always at Epcot, of course. But apparently there is a walking trail up alongside Mount Mayday, which is the hill that Tilly is stuck on at Typhoon Lagoon. And you can use this trail to get to several different slides, but it's also just a great way to see and overlook the entire water park. There are several overlooks. And it seems like there aren't many scenes like you would expect from a walkthrough attraction like, say, the Swiss Family Treehouse, or the Adventureland Treehouse, or Tarzan's Treehouse, or other treehouses. But it's more of just an elevated walkway that gives you amazing views of the park and is relatively less crowded, like some sort of man-powered people mover. Instead of sitting in a cart, you would just move your own two legs, and I like the idea of that. Or like the secret walkway over at Disneyland by Splash Mountain. There's something to be said about environmental storytelling and the importance of walkthrough attractions, but not even just that, the importance of navigating the park. So I think Pie the theme park guy brings up an amazing point, that walkthrough attractions are just as important as e-tickets and flat rides. They don't just fill out the park, they help build the story of a land, and they add some kinetic energy, which is always a good thing. So that's why it's number 10 on the list. More walkthrough attractions. Like I said, I have an entire video about that if you want me to go super in depth as to why they're so important and why I am so excited for the Adventureland Treehouse and Moana, The Journey of Water. So that's number 10. Onward, my friends, to number 9. Oh, Dino Land, USA, how do I love you? Let me count the ways. Your Restaurantosaurus Lounge is a great way to get away from the hustle, the bustle, and the heat of midday Animal Kingdom. And don't forget, Dinosaur is the only attraction at all of the Walt Disney World resorts, maybe even the entirety of all of the Disney parks, that is simultaneously extremely quiet, very dark, very loud, and very bright. I love Dinosaur in its own quirky, weird, stupid, but also interesting and intricate little way. But it's dying. And we know that it's dying because, one, they're dinosaurs. Come on, they've been extinct for so long. But also, last year at D23, Disney announced that they have plans for the area, whether that be Moana, whether that be Zootopia, or maybe another third IP. Dino Land may be going the way of the I mean the T-Rex. But Piggly Dog over on Twitter has a different idea for the space, one that draws in famed archaeologist Indiana Jones, who is also a member of SEA, so it's a cool tie-in. And looking at a map of the land, that would be the easiest transformation Disney could do, right? You take out Dino-Rama, do something else over there. We'll talk about that in a second. But Dinosaur is so easily rethemed into an Indiana Jones adventure style attraction, maybe just like a sequel or an improved version of the one over at Disneyland, and you could retheme Restaurantosaurus into Marion's Tavern from Raiders. I mean, that's a great idea. The Boneyard is already themed to an archaeological dig site. The theming is already done. You wouldn't have to change much aside from some signage, maybe bury some gold coins here and there. The problem with Indiana Jones, if you were to ask me, Piggly Dog, this is a great idea, is that he doesn't have a whole lot to do with animals. The mission statement for Animal Kingdom is to celebrate real, ancient, and imagined animals, a kingdom we enter to share in the wonder, gaze at the beauty, and thrill at the drama, and most importantly, to learn. Mikey Eisner said that, all right? Those aren't my words, those are Mike's. And while it'd be an easy and impressive retheme, it wouldn't really fit with Animal Kingdom. That's why I'm sort of against Zootopia. Yes, obviously they're all animal characters, but the story is about humans and human society. But I would be lying if I said that I was not interested in an Indiana Jones retheme of Dino Land. Will it happen? Most likely not. Poor Dial of Destiny, it's not doing too well right now. Let's talk about the Epcot remodel on this list, right? We can't go a video without talking about the Epcot remodel, or at least Epcot in general, and this entry on our list comes from Zootopia. She says, actually fix Epcot. Redo the entire Imagination Pavilion, attraction plus exhibit area, add more countries to the World Showcase with attractions, revive the Mary Poppins attraction, and bring over a version of Believe, Sea of Dreams to the World Showcase Lagoon. Now that last part had me confused. I've never seen the show, but hold on, we'll talk about it. Journey into Imagination, the one portion of Epcot that was not touched that everyone was begging them to touch. World Celebration is nearing its completion. Guardians of the Galaxy is open. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. We're getting new Epcot, and it's gonna look really, really good. But there's that one corner over by Imagination that just sort of retains that 90s shopping mall version of Epcot's past. Disney is in the process of making a Figment movie. I don't know if that's them testing the waters to see if they need to redo Journey into Imagination. Hopefully the movie is in the same spirit as the ride. I trust the writer. And when, and I do mean when, we're all going to the theater together to watch it, it is a success, then we'll get our new Journey into Imagination. That's my theory right now. Otherwise, it's really unexplainable why they've left it unmoved, unfixed for this long. More countries to the World Showcase is always a good idea. I think a Greece pavilion would be amazing. That's sort of a food genre, a region of food that's not covered very well in the current existing World Showcase. And you know, I feel like I was the only one who liked the concept for the Mary Poppins attraction after it sort of got leaked. It was an indoor flat ride similar to the Teacups that had special effects, a pre-show, sort of like an e-ticket version of the Teacups. And finally, Believe, Sea of Dreams is the nighttime show from Tokyo Disney Sea. And having watched it online, never having seen it in person, it strikes me very much as a mix between Fantasmic and, actually, believe it or not, Harmonious, the previous Epcot nighttime show. With the barges that move out and the fountains of colorful water and also the character floats that go by as they say their lines and do different effects and stunts, it's really, really cool. Highly recommend checking it out. And I'm sure a lot of fans would say, as long as the barges aren't in the middle of the World Showcase Lagoon all day, then it's fine. So number 8 really just sort of boils down to maybe give some care to the corners of the park that aren't getting helped out right now with the Epcot overhaul, namely Journey into Imagination, but also, I mean, the World Showcase is very popular, but it could always be improved. I'm sure all of you will be happy to hear, though, that that is the only time we will be talking about Epcot in this video. Hey, on to number 7. So there's a lot of talk about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and how Disney may have made the wrong decision about placing it at one spot in time on the Star Wars timeline. It's between episodes 8 and 9, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, and it will always be stuck forever in that time period. That's why you don't see characters like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo. Chewbacca does run around there though sometimes. They don't walk around the land, and there's no Death Star, there's no Emperor Palpatine because those are all dead. Or at least they were when The Last Jedi came out. We thought they were all, dead. And so number 7 on our list is a lore-friendly way to go back in time, or maybe even farther into the future, to fix these issues that some people, me included, have with Galaxy's Edge. The world between worlds. Now, you may be familiar with this, you may not be. Let me explain. In Star Wars canon, that's right, this is canon, the world between worlds is a mystical plane within the Force that served as a collection of doors and pathways existing between time and space, linking all moments in time together. Thank you, Star Wars Wiki. Essentially, it's a secret magical force plane where all moments in time are connected together. And also, there are no moments in time because time doesn't exist here. Ezra Bridger, our protagonist from Star Wars Rebels, actually saves Ahsoka Tano by pulling her from her duel with Darth Vader into the world between worlds. So, essentially, you can access any point of the Star Wars timeline you would like from this sort of nexus area, and you can see how this is tying into Galaxy's Edge now, I would hope. You access the world between worlds by walking through a portal, and all Disney has to do is build a really cool looking portal somewhere in Galaxy's Edge, and that way we can meet Darth Vader and Padme Amidala, and especially Jar Jar Binks. And I got so excited about the world between worlds and going back to meet Luke Skywalker that I forgot to mention this idea is from Kirk is a Jerk on Twitter, and it also includes a speeder bike coaster similar to Tron or Hagrid's over at Universal. Something to think about. I don't know if there's the room for that, but that'd be really cool. And I think there was a whole aspect of that new Toontown renovation over at Disneyland. By the way, I wasn't sure if you meant Disneyland or Walt Disney World, but there was the idea being floated around about a Toontown portal from Galaxy's Edge. I mean, it is possible, but that never ended up happening. But I know you mean like a literal portal to the world between worlds rather than just like a walkway between lands. But I thought I'd bring it up because the word is the same. Even if they didn't want to tie it into the lore of Star Wars, I'm still all for them breaking the one place established in canon one-time rule that they have going for Galaxy's Edge. I think it's holding them back, personally. Okay, number 6! Oh, would you look at that? Another entry pertaining to Dino Land over at Animal Kingdom. Wow, that's really cool. Look, it's 2 entries on this list. Let's see this next idea. Oh, okay. Bulldoze Dino Land for Zootopia. Now, we've talked about this before, but let me go over it one more.
Just post the clip.
Oh, it's you. What are you talking about? Work smarter, not harder. Just post the clip from your old video. That way they know exactly what you want to say. Oh, yeah, I guess that would be working smarter, not harder. Okay, well, here's a clip from my video explaining why I don't necessarily think Animal Kingdom needs Zootopia.
Now, they also go on to mention a Zootopia expansion for Dino Land beyond the current proposed Moana one, and that one also, like the Big Thunder Mountain expansion, is blurry, very, very conceptual, nothing really planned yet. And honestly, I'm one of those weirdos that's not fully convinced on Zootopia in Animal Kingdom. Like, yeah, I get it. Obviously, they're all animals and they all live in their different biomes and habitats and their different areas of Zootopia. But deep in its soul, Zootopia is a story about humans and humanity told through the scope of this Animal Kingdom. Oh wait. I'm not 100% convinced it goes along with Animal Kingdom's sort of theme.
Boy, you sound disgusting in that video. What? I was sick. You never been sick before? It's no excuse. It's no excuse at all. Whatever. Anyway, I just think that Zootopia would fit better at another park. Definitely, I would say I'm leaning more towards Hollywood Studios. The big city aspect of it, I feel like could really go, like it could fit in the back of the Muppets Courtyard. Just extend that back. I don't know if there's the room, but you just have the puppet shows, have a ride or two back there. Zootopia at Hollywood Studios, I think would be the better option. I understand why people want it at Animal Kingdom though. I just don't agree 100%. Perfect. That was flawless. Hey, did you know he lives in a little tree by Indiana Jones? Never mind. Go to number 5. Why is it that Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea get all the cool stuff, and we here in America have to settle for other cool stuff, but not quite the same cool stuff that they have over there? Let me explain. Okay, the Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast opened at Tokyo Disneyland 3 years ago. Geez, 3 years ago in 2020. And it is insane. It was like if Rise of the Resistance was Beauty and the Beast themed. It's a trackless dark ride taking you through the story of Beauty and the Beast. And let me tell you, it is extremely impressive. I don't even know any other words to describe it. It's fantastic just watching it. And number 5 on our list comes from Dollface Makeup Artistry. Give us Tokyo's Beauty and the Beast ride and land area, and more dark rides at Walt Disney World. Now, I am always a fan of more dark rides. Now, let's do some armchair imagineering here. Where would the Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast fit at Walt Disney World? It's gotta be Fantasyland, right? Now, looking at the official Disney Parks app, you look at Fantasyland and you say, oh, there's plenty of room for a Beauty and the Beast attraction. Just build it in that forest back there. But that forest is actually backstage and then a road. But then there's a forest. So unless they somehow build a tunnel underneath Magic Kingdom Drive, a la the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland, I don't think Beauty and the Beast can happen at Fantasyland. Remember those Florida water levels? Yeah, I don't know. But I do agree. I do think that the Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast should come to the stateside parks in some fashion, and more dark rides is always a great thing. I am of the opinion that the best rides at the Disney parks are the dark rides. And in the thrill rides, they have their place. You know, the People Movers, the Mark Twains, the railroads, they're also really fun, especially like the railroad. But the dark rides. Off the top of my head, my favorite attractions there are Living with the Land, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, Spaceship Earth, Indiana Jones, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Those are all dark rides, and honestly, I think we need more. I've always wanted, I don't see a lot of other people like asking for this, but a Sleeping Beauty dark ride in the style of Snow White's Enchanted Wish or Peter Pan or Mr. Toad. Just a classic Fantasyland style dark ride for Sleeping Beauty. I know she has the walkthrough, and the walkthrough is probably my favorite attraction in Fantasyland at Disneyland. Keep the castle walkthrough by all means. Don't forget number 10 on this list, but also in addition, you know, give Aurora an attraction. I think we'd all be happy. We'd all benefit from it. There's my pitch to you, Disney, and if you want to talk about this, you know, maybe talk numbers, let me know. I suppose in the meantime, I will move on to number 4. Okay, that was a weird one. Sorry about that. Wow, look at Cinderella Castle. Isn't she beautiful? Look at all the trees and the hub, the coloring of the castle. It's all just so magical. It's quintessential Walt Disney World. Boy, I wonder what they're gonna do for the 50th anniversary. Ah! No, turn it back, I don't like it, bring it back. Okay, so you see, before the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in 2019, they decided to repaint Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland. The pink became more pink, the blue became more blue, and they added little sprinkles of pixie dust here and there. And for the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary, they decided to give Cinderella Castle a facelift as well, but not in a similar way to Disneyland's. Instead of making the blues, the golds, and the grays pop more, they painted all of the gray to sunburnt pink. They made the blue very vibrant, and they wrapped the castle up with streamers. Ribbons, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? They wrapped it up. This concept art was released, which looked fine. I mean, they announced it, and I was like, well, I don't know why you have to paint it pink. The castles don't all have to match, but sure, fine. Paint Cinderella Castle pink. This doesn't look half bad, but you see it in person, and it makes me sad. The castle was perfectly fine for 49 years, and then year 50, you decide to just completely change it. And not only that, but it just doesn't look as good. And so number 4 on our list comes from Mickey Central. They say if they were chairperson of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, this is what they'd want Cinderella Castle to revert to. Keep the royal blue shingles and the splash of gold, but I mean, come on, get rid of the pink. It looks like the castle is sunburned. It looks like she forgot to apply her SPF before she clocked into her shift in the hub. And I mean, come on, Mickey Central even made a concept rendering. You tell me right now with a straight face that doesn't look better than what we currently have. If you're saying that with a straight face, I disagree, but you're entitled to your opinion. I think what Disney was trying to do was make all of the castles sort of cohesive and match Disneyland Paris, pink and blue, Shanghai, pink and blue, Disneyland, pink and blue, now Walt Disney World, pink and blue. Except that doesn't explain why Tokyo and Hong Kong haven't changed yet, but I guess that's beside the point. This isn't even just like an old equals better thing that a lot of Disney fans sort of revert to. This is just like, this concept art looks okay, but the execution is just not it. So Disney, you know, if you need a painter, you need to paint the entire castle, I can knock that out in probably an afternoon. So just, again, give me a call. We can talk numbers. Onward to number 3. All right, well, let's see what number 3 on the list is. I'm really excited. I like to see when people who watch my videos, you know, start throwing their ideas at me. They get creative, and it's another Dino Land idea. Okay, now this isn't a slight against this recommendation, this tweet at all. I think a Jungle Book Land would actually be really cool. We do, however, have the Maharaja Jungle Trek, which is already sort of that Indian-style jungle-themed area where you can see the tigers, but I don't think that more jungle would be a bad thing. It's a very important ecosystem on the planet, and I don't know if it necessarily has enough representation at Animal Kingdom other than, you know, the tigers. So I think more jungle/Jungle Book representation would be a good thing. And like I said, I was going by likes, so this one did make it to number 3, but like I said, I don't have much more to say on this. I've talked about it before, but I do think Jungle Book or The Jungle would be a better suit for the current Dino Land area than Zootopia. Did I just say a better suit? A better suited? A better fit? It's sort of a mix of the two, I guess. You know what? I need to rewatch that movie again. Maybe I'll come back with a changed mind afterwards. I'll let you know. Maybe I'll make another video. Didn't even let me say two. What the? Okay, are we good? Are we okay? Okay, here we go. Hollywood Studios. Okay, who here likes Hollywood Studios? Okay. I see a couple of hands. Now, for those of you with your hands up, what is your favorite attraction at Hollywood Studios? If you didn't answer Muppet Vision, you're wrong, but I see a few of you. Yep. Area, you're answering Tower of Terror, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Okay, now what part of the park do the Rock and Roller Coaster and the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror reside in? Okay, it's getting a little quieter. Oh yeah, a few of you know Sunset Boulevard. Number 2 on this list is some heavy armchair Imagineering. Here we go. There was an idea, dreamed up by Nick Merrick on Twitter, to combine Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard into one lane at Disney's Hollywood Studios and rename it Hollywoodland. Oh, I like that. Nick's idea is to connect the walkways by the Carthay Circle merch location and Oscars near the front, making it easier to get down that pathway to the Tower of Terror, Beauty and the Beast, Rock and Roller Coaster, Fantasmic, what have you. Nick then takes it a step further and says Carthay Circle changes to Princess Meet and Greet featuring Snow White, which is thematically appropriate, and the area between Rock and Roller Coaster and Toy Story Land, including the animation courtyard, becomes the new Pixar Promenade area similar to Pixar Pier. Now, there is a problem with the Pixar Promenade idea, as a lot of that space is backstage operations. However, I am very much in favor of something coming in to replace the animation courtyard. It's just kind of some dead space back there. Disney Junior is really the only thing back there that's worth going back there for, especially if you have younger children. The animation building is just, it's not doing it for me, but I do understand there's a lot of backstage back there. Is it possible to relocate it? I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. This is me asking you. This is me asking. I think if they were to build a Pixar-themed area at Hollywood Studios, they'd have to take it a little easy on the Toy Story, which is kind of difficult to do considering Toy Story is Pixar's most popular film. But they have their own entire land. I don't think that'd be fair for Toy Story to get half a park. What really stood out to me though was just the refresh of the animation courtyard. I think something like that needs to happen at some point. All right, you've waited long enough. Okay, here we go. Finally. Onto the most liked reply from me extending the question to you, what you would change about the Disney parks. Number 1. Yeah, I mean, I really have no notes on this one. As far as it goes, that's a perfect idea. I guess that's the end of the list. You know, as I was making this list, Threads launched. It's a brand new app that's similar to Twitter. It's run by Meta, and that's a whole other can of worms. But I figured, to be fair, I would ask this same question over there, and here is the top response that I got over there. So this is like a number 0, if you will. From MD Most 43, make the Journey into Imagination ride go back to its 1980s glory. Dreamfinder, Color Light Tunnel, ditch the flubber content. A Journey into Imagination entry? This is number 0? I could have been talking about this whole video. I could have made its own video around just this thing, just this post. Thread? I don't even know what they're called. This is just stressing me out way too much. I need a way to de-stress. I gotta find a way to de-stress. Come on. Freaking out. I'm actually freaking out. Great. Okay. I gotta take a walk. I gotta get out of here. Huh?
expecting anything. I mean, if they were looking for a way to de-stress me, I think they found it. This is my order. I think this video was sponsored by the Magic Candle Company.
Hello everybody, YouTube Heartthrob Offhand Disney here. You know, when I'm taking my baths fully clothed in my YouTube apparel with my microphone, I like my bathroom to smell like the Haunted Mansion. So that's why I burn my Haunted Mansion candle in the background. But also, you know, sometimes I want it to smell like John Lafitte, like Jean Lafitte, if you will. And so, Magic Candle Company has reached out to me offering me one of these bad boys. The Pirate's Life Bath Fizzer makes your bath smell like a pirate's life, like Pirates of the Caribbean. And so, mixed with the Haunted Candle, we should have on our hands a Lafitte smelling room. Let's try. And there you go. Whoa, okay, we're fizzing. While this takes its time fizzing, I can go ahead and tell you to head over to themagiccandlecompany.com and use offer code OFFHAND for 15% off of your entire purchase. That's whether you want a bath fizzer like this, a candle like that, or maybe even a room spray or a hand sanitizer. They have them all. Remember, that's offer code OFFHAND for 15% off of your order. Was that bit worth it? I don't know. This entire shirt is just ruined. It's ruined. I ruined it for the bit. Thank you to the Magic Candle Company for sponsoring this video. That was essentially the entire ad. Now to the end.
Oh, so we're just gonna do the interrupting thing the entire video, not just for the countdowns. Cool, it's gonna be one of those. Great. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for watching. This was sort of like a social media based video, and I think it's hilarious that the week I decided to make this, I had no idea about this app beforehand, by the way. Meta decided to just go ahead and launch Threads after I'd made like an entire Twitter thread on this, so that's super, super cool. You can follow me over on Threads. Please do, in fact, at offhand.disney. There's a dot between offhand and Disney because some leech took the Offhand Disney name on Instagram, so that is not available. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new around here, you want more videos like this where I can involve the viewers of my videos, also hit the subscribe button. And if you're a super, super fan, head over to the Patreon and the link down in the description down below, and even just $1 a month will get you access to most of the perks. Like, they got to see this video yesterday as of the uploading date. A very, very big thank you to them for sticking with me and helping me do this as long as I possibly can. And also a big thank you to the Magic Candle Company for the exact same reason. You can also follow my other social media. TikTok, I'm at Offhand Disney. That's just a regular Offhand Disney there. And I believe that covers it all. I am headed to Walt Disney World this next week, so I'm very excited for that. Some more in-park videos coming. Who knows, maybe a Living with the Land themed one. Just something to keep your eyes out for. All right, everybody, thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Goodbye.